The male reproductive system. The primary gonad or the primary organ of the male reproductive system are the testes. And they are called the primary organs because they produce the sperms, which are the germ cells, the male germ cells. Now these testes, if you see, are not present inside the abdominal cavity. They are present outside the abdominal cavity in a structure called the scrotum. And the reason for this is testes are involved in the production of sperms. And the production of sperms requires a temperature that is less than the abdominal cavity, less than the body temperature. Hence, the testes are placed outside the abdominal cavity. Here, testes are located outside the abdominal cavity in a structure called the scrotum. The sperm formation requires a lower temperature than the normal body temperature. So very often a question is asked, where are the testes present and why? We will say the testes are present outside the abdominal cavity in a structure called the scrotum because the production of sperm requires a temperature less than the abdominal cavity or temperature less than the body temperature. So we had the two functions of the testes. One was the main function to produce sperm, and the other function was to produce this male hormone called testosterone. Next we'll see what is the function of testosterone. Testosterone is an important, very important hormone, and it has basically two functions. One, it regulates the production of sperms. And the second is it brings about secondary sexual characters. Like in boys at the time of puberty, the change of voice, the growing of a beard or a mustache, all these are brought about by the testosterone. So I repeat again, the function of the testosterone is regulate the production of sperms here, and this changes in the appearances during puberty. Now the sperms are produced by the testes, and from the testes now they move up in a thin duct called the vas deferens. Now as they move along the vas deferens, you can see here there are certain glands, like you have the prostrate gland here, you have the seminal vesicle. All these glands, they pour in a certain secretion into the testes, into the vas deferens. So the vas deferens of course carries sperms, and now we have the sperms plus this nutrition, this liquid that is poured into the vas deferens. The function of the vas deferens is to transport sperms from the testes to the penis. Next is the seminal vesicle and the prostrate glands. The seminal vesicles and the prostrate glands, they pour in fluid into the vas deferens. This fluid nourishes the sperms. It gives nourishment or food to the sperms and also helps the easy transport of the sperms. Now the secretion of these seminal vesicles and the prostrate glands together with the sperm is called the semen. Transport easier. So here's the sperm. This is called the head of the sperm. It contains the genetic material, the DNA, and this is the tail of the sperm. And the sperm does not have much food, so the seminal vesicles pour in this nourishment, pour in this liquid which nourishes the sperms, and it makes the transport of the sperms also easier. Being in a liquid, the sperms find it easier to move through. Then you have the urethra. Here is the urethra that starts from the bladder right into the penis, and this urethra has got dual function. It carries the sperms and also carries the urine. So that is one main difference between male and female reproductive system. The male reproductive system has a common opening for both, for urine as well as for sperm. There is a common, you have the urine as well as the sperm, both traveling through the urethra. In the female, you have a separate opening for urine, a separate opening for the reproductive system. And last is the penis. It helps to transfer the sperms into the female reproductive system. So just to remind you, what is the sperm made up of? The sperm is made up of just the DNA and the tail. The DNA carries the genetic material while the tail helps it to move.